Hello, thank you for tuning in. This presentation is called The Sun Ra, Inspiration, Light, Music. This is part of a series that I am producing for my website, fromdarkmatter.com. He is one of the 12 angels, and we will be diving into the other 12 as well over time. If you're wondering who I am, I wrote this book and published it in December of 2023. It's called Seeds of Infinity, Poetry for the Space Age. Epic achievements, no matter what. It's available on Amazon for a lower price. You can get it at fromdarkmatter.com, and you can get the hat, the t-shirt, and other items on the website. But I plan on publishing a Dear Diary section regularly on that website, and there's other material available for free, so feel free to check out the website, and thank you for doing so. This is the front cover. So today we'll be talking about Sun Ra. I'm going to give you guys a quick overview of the presentation, and then we're going to dive into it. It's kind of a long presentation, so if you feel the need, you can speed it up or slow it down using YouTube's speed adjustment tool. Sun Ra visited planet Earth in the 1900s. His introduction to planet Earth ended up being Alabama, of all places. If you didn't know, Alabama was the head of the Confederate States. So growing up there shaped his perspective somehow, I'm sure. And another thing that may have done so is getting the gift of a piano for his birthday from his mother as a present. And he ended up being a natural musician. He learned to read music very quickly. He could sight read, and he was a natural. So there's a myth that a friend would ask Sun Ra to read a piece of music. Sun Ra would read it. The friend would be like, no, you must already have played that song before. I'm going to go find another one. And the friend kept going. Sun Ra kept reading the music. And as a result, Sun Ra ended up getting to play a whole lot of different types of music for free. So from a young age. And that is clearly evidenced in the quality of the music that he was producing. He was a leader. He directed a band of sometimes 10, sometimes 40, sometimes more. And he led them for decades, putting out a lot of material. But he wasn't just a musician. He was an artist, a poet. He was a philosopher. He loved outer space. And he is said to have coined the term the space age. And he's one of the people first credited with saying the word omniverse. Nowadays, you have the Omni Hotel. So he has a lot of influence present in the culture, but not a lot of people might know about him, which is a shame because he contributed a lot. Probably more than your favorite artist. He put out over 100 full-length albums. That's over 1,000 songs. He put out works of poetry, which we will be reading, and there are other books about him, which we will be reading over the course of the next couple of years. But he is, as the leader of the 12, he is my inspiration, because when I saw how much work he had put out, and just how much love he had for space, and when I started contemplating that, I really got some insights. So I credit him with sort of helping me to wake up, and if he's put out 100 albums and poetry and everything else, a movie, Space is the Place, is a movie that you can watch for free on YouTube. But Sun Ra is, a very influential person, and I think you should know about him. So that's who we will be talking about. So if I was new to this planet and I wanted to know what was going on, I might look at the newspaper. That's a logical place to look, maybe. But logic deceived us, because it turns out that the newspaper doesn't really have the best stuff that we could use our time reading or ingesting, you know what I'm saying? Because look at it. Unless we go to the arts and culture section, but looking at what's going on, it's like, oh snap, these people are about to self-destruct. If I'm new to this planet, I'll be like, I'm getting ready to dip. Like, I'm going to make plans to get out of here. Because some of these events don't make sense. Why are men harming one another? It doesn't make sense. Especially nowadays, because you can really harm people, right? We have people who are experts at harming others. So is that all we have to offer? Obviously, the answer is no. People like Sun Ra said there are other worlds that we can explore. Just look out into the night sky. Okay. Anyways, every star could have several planets orbiting it, just like our solar system. So isn't it interesting that, we barely know anything about outer space. We really don't even know what's going on this planet. Like, how did it get here? Right? That's the big question. Can you answer that? How did it get here? Well, today I have the answer for you. Stay tuned. No, I'm just kidding. But obviously, everyone makes an attempt at answering that question. Everyone has their perspective on how they got here, and everyone has their personal journey on how they got to that particular point. But the big ones for describing reality are science, philosophy, religion, history, myths. And, we have religious scientists, we have philosophers who might be historians, we have scientists who are historians. We have, people try to understand reality using different perspectives. And these are just some of the ways that people have attempted to make sense of things and answer that question. But two people made interesting headway: Charles Darwin and Peter Kropotkin. You probably have heard of Charles Darwin. His theory of evolution is very famous, survival of the fit. Look that up. Peter Kropotkin, on the other hand, was a younger man. He came about 3 decades after Charles Darwin, but they lived for some time during the same age. And Peter looked at nature and said, wait, survival of the fit, I see cooperation out there. I don't really see competition. So he put out a collection of his works, which is called Mutual Aid, a Factor of Evolution. And in it, this is from the Wikipedia, he describes voluntary, collaborative exchanges of resources and services for common benefit take place amongst community members to overcome social, economic, and political barriers to meeting common needs. So this is different from Charles Darwin's perspective, and Peter was saying that we evolve when we collaborate. And that's what we will be discussing today. These are big ideas, so if you want to speed up or slow down this presentation, you can do so. So does it have to be mutual aid or survival of the fit? Does Charles or Peter have to be right? Why can't we have both? Is there a way that we can have both? And there is. Mutual aid is possible if people think about big ideas. When I say big ideas, we're talking about very big. Thinking like universal level, omniversal level, interdimensional level, right? If we're talking on those levels, then we can consider mutual aid, but otherwise survival of the fit, because that has been the trend for the last, let's say about 2,000-3,000 years. The last man, several people have come and said, after a while, people on this planet will become like lazy. That's what Nietzsche predicted. Like at some point, people will get so comfortable that the type of man society produces doesn't have the will to produce change and to shape reality to his will. If you want to learn more about that, look into Nietzsche's Power to Will or something like that. But Fukuyama is another person that had a theory of government which said that Western democracies are the last form of government, and we've already reached peak governmental performance, and the system can only be progressively perfected. There can't really be anything that replaces it. So these are famous ideas, but the most famous, obviously, is the Holy Bible. The Bible states, I hope I am in frame. Let's check. Okay, the Bible states that, eventually this is all going to come to an end. If you're a Christian, you know, the return of Christ, Revelations, right? If you're Jewish, the return of the Messiah. If you're Muslim, I don't know what it's called, but let me adjust my camera real quick. Okay, so, all right. Okay. So the point is that it's kind of hard to figure out how we got here if we don't really have help. So my helpers are, these 12 people. Sun Ra is their leader. You can consider it a board of directors of sorts, or I call them my 12 angels because they've influenced me that much. They have the ability to express profound ideas clearly, all of them. And we will learn more about the others and why they inspire me. But today's presentation is focused on Sun Ra. Okay, so why are mentors, curriculums, and success related? What is a mentor? A mentor is a person who gives a younger or less experienced person help and advice over a period of time. So if that younger person didn't receive that advice or that help, that means they would have to figure out everything for themselves. So by getting the advice, that younger person saves a whole bunch of time and is able to accomplish things faster than the other person was in their time if they didn't have a mentor. So in education, a curriculum is broadly defined as the totality of student experiences that occur in the educational process. The term often refers specifically to a planned sequence of instruction or to a view of the student's experiences in terms of the educator's or school's instructional goals. So let's say if we didn't have a way for nurses to become nurses, if there weren't schools set up for people to attend, after they attend, they take licensing exams. If they pass, they become a licensed person. They're qualified. But what if we didn't have that? What would happen? Every person that wanted to become a nurse would have to figure it out on their own. And there are a lot of sort of breakthroughs that is included in the curriculum. A lot of people made a lot of contributions for us to get to the point that we are in. Now, this is success. We want to define success as the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. So one thing that I noticed about this definition is that nowhere does it say that, huge mansions. I don't see that anywhere. This is the definition, and I don't see like big rims. I don't see jets. I don't see nothing. It just says the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. So if you are aware of your aim and you accomplish it, you are a success. That's it. And not only that, but the old definition is the good or bad outcome of an undertaking. So it doesn't even have to be good. It's just, hey, you had an aim and something big happened, right? It either worked out or it was an epic failure. So people used to use success as sometimes in a bad context. So I think it's important to know the definitions. And why is it important? Because cooperation is how humanity has been able to advance up to this point. No matter whether you're good, an angel, or evil, or the devil himself. If people are not cooperating, nothing big can really get done, right? The Bible is the Bible because different books, different people working together to deliver a message. this computer is here because people cooperated to make something happen, to produce a product. And the success is whether they reach their goal, their aim, they hit the mark. Corporations are the way that people cooperate nowadays. Walmart has over 1 million employees, I believe. So that is like a huge operation of people cooperating to make something happen. It's like a huge organism. And the way that an organism gets to Walmart's level is through collaboration. A lot of people deciding to work together, to grow together, to accomplish certain tasks at different times in different places. And so we have to decide where we want to go. We know that if humans collaborate long enough, they can do whatever they want, right? The International Space Station, the moon landing, nuclear warfare. It's all been made possible. So where are we going to put our limited resources on this planet is really the main answer that Sun Ra helped me to get. And we are not going to spend our resources on defending ourselves from future potential threats. We are going to build the future that we want. And if you want to come along for the ride, pause. I suggest you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, so that you are notified. So if you like this presentation style, if you want me to improve, if you want to know different things, just leave a comment and I will respond. So the average person speaks or knows about 20 to 35,000 words. Sun Ra put out over 100 albums, 1,000 songs. He put out a poetry book that is larger than mine, almost twice as big. His collection of poetry is way larger than mine. Okay, so, I mean, that's why he's my inspiration. You can tell when someone is dedicated to their craft because of the quality. And I hope you see the quality in this presentation. If you want to support, you can go to fromdarkmatter.com, shop, get the book, Seeds of Infinity, Poetry for the Space Age. So prolific, what does that mean? Producing a great number or amount of something. So just like success, prolific doesn't necessarily mean, if you're producing a whole lot of BS, then we don't care if you're prolific. We'd rather you just not produce it, right? Or if you're producing destructive products, we'd rather just you not do that, okay? Because just like this example here, rabbits and other rodents are prolific, okay? And we're not gonna become an intergalactic species with rabbits and rodents, that type of prolific. We're gonna get there with this type of prolific. So Sun Ra and the other people that I look up to are my heroes for this reason mainly. And I'm excited. I hope this presentation is clear, and I hope to hear from you. I will respond to every comment. That is a promise for this video only. I'm not gonna do that every time. Anyways, nowadays, music and war have been pretty much perfected. People collaborate long enough and produce really great pieces of music, or they produce really great machines of destruction. Either way, people collaborating is how big things are done. The reason that I choose to look up to Sun Ra as the main individual in this list is because he dedicated his life to music, and jazzum, in my opinion, is the most creative musical form of expression, and so that's why I love Sun Ra. This is the type of stuff that he inspires. Thinking about outer space, thinking about just that level of greatness. I just wrote this for this presentation. Listen up. All of the sudden, the notes on the sheet morphed into components of a spaceship, each sound directing each piece to its proper place. Once assembled, the leader turned the band members' attention to the destination. Focus acting as fuel. The band and their audience departed on their next journey. Precision, discipline, their only friends. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you tune in to future presentations. Sun Ra is my inspiration. I hope this wasn't too long. See ya. Subscribe. Visit our website. Support. Thank you.